Kansas. We haven't had shutdown of the plants. You're right. It's all beef production in Kansas. About 25% of the beef to the United States comes through here. The same measures that Diane mentioned about the workplace OSHA type changes were put into place. We got on testing quicker and involved in the communities quite well with their family members as well.
So you're in the early stages of the reopening plan in the state of Kansas, and you have these clusters. There are 75 of them total, I think, in Kansas. 22 in long-term care facilities. We've seen that in other states as well. 8 in churches. We've seen that. Places of worship where this has happened. Some in the meatpacking plants, as you mentioned. Some in the correctional facilities. 30 in private businesses. So one of the questions is, if you're having these issues in places that are currently open, or were open at the beginning of this, again, what lessons can you learn to apply as you go through the phases of your reopening plan in terms of, if you just look at these long-term care facilities, the meatpacking plants, places of worship, private businesses, it's a pretty obvious lesson. If you put people in tight spaces, the virus spreads. So what can you do as you go through the phases of your reopening to apply the lessons?
Well, we first recognize that a state, especially a state as large as Kansas, has very urban areas, also rural and frontier, and these congregate settings are where the problems are occurring. So we don't put an equal amount of effort in every single one of the 105 counties throughout the state. Congregate living situations, like you mentioned, John, are absolutely devoting most of our time to that, and certainly a disproportionate amount of testing. We're not as limited on the testing ability as we used to be. We have much more, just within the last couple of weeks, availability of testing really statewide.
And you mentioned a lot of, as you go state by state, some states are doing better than others. You say all of a sudden you have more. What's that from? Are the state ramping up, help from the federal government, combination of the two?
It's really mostly the availability of testing materials coming to us through the federal sources. We were competing to buy this. We had millions of dollars worth of invoices out. We were willing to buy it, but we were competing with other states, competing with the federal government, and I think that it's been through the federal channels where there's much more testing. We're getting about 60,000 tests for this month, and that will help us.